Hello everyone, this is Matt from Rare World Review, and today is week 10 of Let's Talk. If you don't know what Let's Talk is, pretty much what I do is I go over my Google feed, I select 3 articles, and I talk to you guys about those. And for this week, the camera that I'm using to record is the OnePlus 6T at 1080p at 60 frames per second. Let's get started. So the first article is from CNET and it says, iFixit teardown reveals Samsung Galaxy Buds are somewhat repairable. What this article talks about is the fact that iFixit tore down the new Galaxy Buds and they found out that it actually has a replaceable battery. I don't remember exactly what the batteries are, but they kind of look like this. But they're pretty much like batteries like this, ones that you would find in like a key fob. I got it. Which I find to be very interesting because I always thought that those type of batteries weren't rechargeable, but obviously that is not the case. To me, it's kind of weird because I don't think people will be replacing those batteries anytime soon, but I guess it does make it a little bit better because trying to replace batteries on AirPods is impossible. Well, probably possible, but extremely difficult to do. Another thing that I found interesting is that the battery inside of the Galaxy Buds, like the little docking area, it's actually like the same type of batteries that you find in the Galaxy Gear watches. Does this matter? I mean, maybe. Most people aren't going to replace any parts on their Galaxy Buds. They'll probably just buy some new ones or send them into Samsung and hopefully they can fix them. But I guess it's kind of a good thing for people like us that like to repair stuff. The next article comes from Gizmodo and it says, why I regret upgrading to the iPhone XS. This isn't really a news article, but more of what the writer is experiencing with his new iPhone XS. And just as you would expect, it's about the scratchability of the iPhone XS. Now, for obvious reasons, I can't show you the video as usual, but pretty much what he talks about is the fact that his iPhone XS, this is an iPhone X, but his iPhone XS actually has scratches on the outside of his screen. Now, if Adam watched any of my scratch test videos and known that Scratchgate is a thing, he would have known not to buy this phone, or at least to put a screen protector on top of it. Now, I'll let you guys read the article because he brings up a couple good points. But essentially what he's talking about is the fact that 1, Apple replaces the screen for $280 whether you have scratches or cracks in the screen. 2, this phone is made to be without a case, so while he recommends putting a case on there, he also understands that that's not really a fun thing to do. And lastly, there's a bunch of stuff you can put on this phone like screen protectors, cases, and all that stuff. That does cost money and adds a little bit of bulk, but it does protect your $1,000 investment. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm bashing this. I completely agree that it is very frustrating that you pay $1,000 for a phone or $900 or whatever it may be. You spend a lot of money for a phone that has glass on it, which is generally scratch resistant, and then you get a phone that scratches extremely easily. But hopefully what you guys understand is that the iPhone XS and the iPhone X and the iPhone 8, whatever it may be, is not the only phones that are affected by this. Like I said before, my Samsung S8 Plus had scratches in the screen, and that was not fun. I mean, those scratches appeared mainly because of an iPhone X, but there are other phones that have the little Scratchgate issue. One being the OnePlus 6T. Bet you didn't know that one. What I took from this article, and what you guys should take from this article, is if you spend a lot of money on a device, put a case on it. Or be a little bit more careful. Or do what I do. What I do is I actually have a case on it, so that doesn't really matter itself. But what I do is I put my phone in my pocket and then everything else in my other pocket. That is a little frustrating for some, but all I have on me is generally my phone, keys, and wallet. So having 3 things in 2 pockets isn't really that bad. Also, my keys scratch up my wallet and I'm kind of due for a new one. So let me know what you guys recommend. I got a bunch of cards in there, so let me know about something small but kind of big, or maybe something small that kind of fits all these cards. And the last article is from 9to5Mac and is talking about how nearly 6 months later there are still no alternatives to the Pixel stand for the Pixel 3 fast wireless charging. Now, if you don't know what's going on in the Pixel world, pretty much on the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL, fast wireless charging is not a thing. Well, it's not a thing if you don't have the official Google wireless charger. They call it the Pixel stand and it does a few other things. It kind of puts it in stand mode or whatever they call it. I don't know exactly what they call it. I wish I did because I had a Pixel 3 XL and that probably would have been good for the review. But either way, the issue is that Google actually limits how fast these wireless chargers will work. So even if you do have a fast wireless charger, it still may not wirelessly charge your phone fast, if that makes sense. Now the problem with this is it's proprietary, which is kind of why people go with Android phones in particular rather than iPhones. And the thing that comes with proprietary software or hardware is price. For example, the Pixel stand costs $80. Belkin also makes one called the Boost Up wireless charging pad that Google sells, and that one is $70. In comparison, you can get something similar to this by an off-brand name or a brand that's not as popular as someone like Belkin or Google for about $50, possibly $40, or even $30. Maybe even less. I haven't done too much research, but I know that $70 or $80 is a lot of money for this wireless charger. Now, the Pixel Stand does more than just wireless charging, but it is kind of gimmicky. But honestly, looking at all these pictures on the Google Pixel Stand's website on Google, it doesn't really seem that interesting, at least to me. I mean, you have a Google Photos album, you have like a Spotify looking thing. I don't know, I don't get it. I don't see a reason to spend an extra $40, $50 for something that this can do and a little bit more. I mean, it's kind of cool, but to me, it's not that cool. I hope that all makes sense. But that's all I wanted to talk about for now. Well, there is one more thing I wanted to talk about, and it's the fact that I will not be doing any more Let's Talk. Well, so far. What I wanted to do is I wanted to do at least 10 episodes, and I wanted to kind of see how it would work. I know views aren't really going to matter that much, and it gets more people in to hear that I have more to talk about than just reviews. But the issue with Let's Talk is that it takes out a lot of time. You know, there's time for me to record this, there's time for me to edit this, and I have a very small schedule when it comes to this anyway, so it was cutting a lot into editing videos for my Sunday release. And the major issue with that is that sometimes I have a couple weeks to work on a video, other times I have this week. So if I'm filming this video on Tuesday, editing it on Wednesday, and then I'm using the rest of the week until Sunday to work on the video, then that means I'll have very little time to work on that video. If that makes sense. Essentially, the issue is I was spending a lot of time in this video rather than working on my Sunday videos, which means that the videos didn't come out how I wanted them to. And ultimately, that's what matters about this channel. So the Let's Talk episodes will be gone for now. Also, I was using an iPad Pro to do screen records, and I don't really have a reliable phone for screen recording, so I used this for this one, and this is not my phone. So I don't know how long I could have done that. Hopefully they'll come back soon because there's a lot of tech to talk about pretty much every day. But for now, any articles that I find interesting, I'll probably be posting them on Twitter. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. As usual, the links will be in the description below. If you have any questions or opinions that you want to talk about, let me know in the comment section or on Twitter at MattofRWR, and feel free to follow me on the social media listed above. Also subscribe to my channel so you can see other review videos and repair videos as well. And hit that bell button so then YouTube actually reminds you when those new videos do come out. Thanks for watching.